Hey Gois, so last week, I finally finished the 20th installment of Toei's Magical Girl franchise, Wonderful Precure, and since coming to Idol Precure, or You and Idol Precure in English, is about to wrap up and Stir Detective Precure is coming out next month, I thought, why not talk about what might be the most controversial Precure series to date? Before we start, the quick YouTuber stuff. If you like this content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I also have a TikTok account called Sailor Noodle, plus a Bluesky account, so if you want more content from me, go follow those too. And of course, this video will contain spoilers. So if you've already seen the show or if you simply do not care about spoilers, let's get into Wonderful Precure. Before we talk about Wonderful Precure, let's do a very quick franchise history lesson. Precure began in 2004 with Futuri we Pretty Cure, a landmark magical girl anime by Toei Animation that completely revitalized the genre. Instead of just sparkles and feelings, it emphasized physical combat, teamwork, and straight-up punching evil in the face, taking inspiration from tokusatsu like Super Sentai. That formula worked really well. Since then, Precure has released a new series every single year, usually airing from February to January, becoming one of Japan's biggest long-running multimedia franchises. It's a staple of Sunday morning anime, airing alongside Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Precure is loved for mixing cute magical girl aesthetics with actual combat while focusing on themes like friendship, self-love, perseverance, and emotional growth. Is it the most complex franchise ever? No, but it is a franchise about a bunch of girls coming together to kick the absolute crap out of evil, and we love it for that. Alright, now let's talk about Wonderful Precure. Wonderful Precure follows Iroha and her dog Kamuji, who gains the ability to transform into Cure Wonderful in order to protect her owner and stop monsters known as Garigoro. The Garigoro are corrupted animals from Neko Garden and sometimes even Earth animals who must be purified and returned home. Over time, the story reveals a deeper mystery involving vengeful wolf spirits known as Geese Pack, who attacked Neko Garden as revenge against humanity. The team eventually expands to include Iroha as Cure-friendly, her shy friend Mayo as Cure Lillian, and May as Cat Tai, who becomes Cure Naimit. Together, they work to save animals while exploring the complicated relationship between humans and animals. I'll be honest, I dropped this season after 5 episodes. At the time, I thought the whole chase scene formula was going to be boring, and let's be real, it was also blindly riding the Wonderful Precure hate train, which is apparently still running to this day. But coming back to it, I was wrong. I am now completely in love with this series mainly because of the character writing and development. The first 29 episodes are decent. They're not mind-blowing, but they focus heavily on Iroha and Kamuji's relationship, and honestly, their chemistry carries the show. Iroha and Kamuji the dog do. Iroha is kind, honest, athletic, and absolutely terrible at lying. She loves animals and wants to be friends with every single one. Kamuji, meanwhile, starts out as your typical dog, loud hyper-zero brain cells. Only vibes. But once she gains a human form and becomes Cure Wonderful, she begins developing real emotional depth. She learns to be more assertive, questions her role in Iroha's life, and starts actively pushing for human-animal coexistence. Some stand-up moments, episodes 6-7, where Kamuji becomes insecure after losing her favorite leash, which becomes the friendly tact, thinking Iroha doesn't love her anymore, leading to a full emotional fallout. Episode 32, where Iroha gets depressed after a brutal loss and Kamuji steps up to support her. Now, yes, Kamuji is annoying at first, but then I remembered she's a dog. That's literally how dogs are. My only real complaint is that sometimes both Iroha and Kamuji act kinda dumbs. I expected Iroha to be more of the straight man to Kamuji's chas, but sometimes she's right there with her. Also, small nitpick, but I need to get this off my chest. Iroha's parents are veterinarians. They run an animal shop. Why does she need to ask Satoru for animal facts? I know, it's dumb and petty, but it bothered me. May when Yuki, the cat do. Now let's talk about the perfect do. May is a socially awkward girl who desperately wants friends, but immediately panics the moment social interaction appears. Over time, she becomes braver, eventually becoming Cure Lillian, and even repairs her broken friendship with Juma. Naoki, on the other hand, is peak cat energy, grumpy, aggressive, absolutely done with everyone. She fights harder than the others, prefers to work alone, and initially warns the team that they are too weak to protect life. This likely stems from being abandoned by her previous owners. Satoru and Daifuku. Satoru is the smartest character in the group, providing animal knowledge and support during battles. Daifuku is quiet, brave, and apathetic until he gains a human form. They finally get Precure powers during the finale, and in the movie Daka Game no Seke de Daibokens. A fun fact, Daifuku was originally planned to be a male Cure, but higher-ups rejected the ideas of the movie. Transformation reflects that unused concept. Also, according to head writer Narita Yoshimi, Satoru, as an older brother studying abroad, was born on September 7th, which coincides with National Threatened Species Day in Australia, a reference to the last Tasmanian tiger. Yes, and this franchise is like that. The core theme of Wonderful Precure is human-animal relationships, and honestly, it actually commits to it. Each Garuguro episode teaches viewers about the animal's traits, strengths, weaknesses, which is more than I can say for some later Precure seasons that completely forget their own themes. Now the villains. For the first 29 episodes, they're basically aren't any, just Garugaro and the occasional Cure Naime jump scare. Then episode 30 hits and we finally meet Yao, aka Subaru, a former human who befriended a wolf pack before humans caused their extinction. Understandably upset, he decides, yes, let's destroy humanity. He corrupts Neko Garden, creating the Garugaro, and is aided by Sakuro, a lovesick wolf girl, while Torum is an energetic wolf that loves playing and having fun. They aren't the most amazing antagonist in the franchise, but they do have some cool character moments here and there, and so can be said for the main villain as one of those characters who has the right idea but did things the wrong way. He like a tragic villain kind of way, just a man who wanted to be with his wolves. Basically a hippie. Positives and negatives. Positives. The show has some strong character writing, emotional development, good use of the animal theme, and a solid main cast. Certain characters like Kamuji, Iroha, Satoru, Sakura, and Torin are a bit one-note. 30 episodes before the real villains show up is fucking wild. And now for the question you might be wondering, no pun intended. Why is Wonderful so hated if it does the same thing the show has been doing for 20 years? Why or whys? Well, in getting to that, give me a second. In short, Wonderful Precure was controversial mainly for its significant departure from the franchise's core identity by eliminating the action and fights. Instead, it focused heavily on who's chase scenes. Other issues people have complained about includes, but not limited to, a weak power differentiation among Cures, a confusing narrative structure. Bro, it ain't even that confusing. And the debate of its handling of male characters, creating a divisive reception despite some appreciating its uniqueness. Now, in my opinion, I do somewhat understand some of the complaints that people have Like, I know some people will probably think Kamuji is annoying, people would probably quit like 5 episodes in due to the action scenes or lack thereof, and that there are some people who just probably not into slice of life show, and the fact that it takes 30 episodes for the villains to show up, like get wanting to develop your characters and all but damn 30 episodes. And that, in my opinion, the chase scenes in this show are boring, like they do get somewhat better by the second act, but whenever the chase scenes come on, I'm just usually on my phone. Also, I forgot to mention that, in the witty, wonderful Precure is the first season to not have a leader type, so for the people complaining about how Kamuji doesn't act like a typical leader, that's why, cause the staff designed this season to not have a leader. And in short, I really like Wonderful if this review didn't tell that already. And while I do agree with some of the criticism for this show, I think the positives for this show outweigh any negatives I could give to this show. And that's all I have to say today for Wonderful Precure. If you enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing, as it would be greatly appreciated. And if you want me to review more Precure seasons or other magical girl shows, please tell me so in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Peace.